Yes, sir, I'm ready. We can begin, sir.
All right. So, Priya, can you introduce yourself to us?
Yes, sir. Sir, my name is Priya Dharshini. I come from Coimbatore district of Tamil Nadu. I have done both my schooling and college from Coimbatore, graduated in BTech Biotechnology, sir, from PSG College of Technology. And after my graduation, I started my preparation for civil service and forest service, sir. So I have also worked as a mentor, sir. And in this gap, I was also pursuing my hobby actively.
All right. All right. So, like you're from Coimbatore, can you tell us something interesting about Coimbatore?
Sir, Coimbatore is a very uh, developed industrial city in Tamil Nadu, sir. It is famous for its cultural roots as well as the economical development. Since it is lying in the carpet of Western Ghats, it is having a gift of natural landscapes also. And the entrepreneurial culture of Coimbatore is uh, very improved, and lots of educational institutions and health infrastructure are also present, with a lot of youth contributing to the economy as well, sir.
All right. Right. So, like you mentioned about Western Ghats, so it is also a part of the Western Ghat biodiversity hotspot, right?
Yes, sir.
So, can you tell us what factors determine whether a region is will be determined or called as biodiversity hotspot?
Sir, a region to be called as a biodiversity hotspot, it should be having a very good vegetation, endemic vegetation in that. It should at least have 1,500 endemic species and must have lost nearly 70 percentage of its floral composition, sir.
All right. All right. So, like, can you tell us some GI tags from Coimbatore, as it is like very famous industrially as well as in other aspects also?
Sir, can you kindly repeat the question, sir?
Can you tell us some GI tags from Coimbatore?
Yes, sir. Sir, the wet grinder manufactured in India, like 60 to 70 percentage is from Coimbatore, sir. So it is famous, and geographical indicator is there for wet grinders. And Kovai Kora cotton is very famous. Since it is also contributing to the textile industry, it is a cotton growing region. Kora cotton is famous. That is having a GI tag, sir.
Okay. And the first one you said, which
Wet
grinder?
grinder. Yes, sir.
All right. So, what is the use of wet grinder?
Sir, it reduce the work of the household. So, suppose women are working, they have to spend a lot of time in the household work. Wet grinders are a very good innovation which reduces their workload, and it Coimbatore has a very good fame for producing an innovation of that wet grinders.
All right. So, like recently we have seen the issue of Kachatibu come up again, right? In the political discourse. So, can you briefly sum it up? What is the issue and what is your view on it?
So, sir, Kachativu as a issue, sir, in 1974 we had signed the agreement, and also in 1976 we had the final agreement signed regarding the Kachativu, sir. From the central government, the part of that disputed island has been ceded over to Sri Lanka. So after that, sir, the main issue here lies with the Indian fishermen finding the resource of their good fish stock. It is not very near to the coast. As they go to the deeper seas, they claim to be getting very good catch of fishes. And Kachativu is lying very much or inside the borders of Sri Lankan waters. Uh, that is the issue which is rising up again now, sir. And according to me, India should be behaving as a responsible power, sir, because recently also we had some friction with Maldives. And since it is also completed with the agreement of 1974 and 76, I feel we should find more solutions to how fishermen can be made very productive, or giving them lot of innovation research for deep sea fishing rather than going for that island, sir.
All right. All right. So, like, there is something mentioned as turtle walk in your DAF, like in your interest. So, what is a turtle walk?
Sir, it is a conservation activity for olive ridley turtle. I was a part of NGO working for olive ridley turtle conservation, sir. So basically, collecting the eggs of the turtle and placing it in the artificial hatchery, in order to increase the hatchling rate, success rate of the hatchlings.
Okay, so how long do we have to put those eggs in the hatchling?
Sir, it takes nearly 45 to 60 days for a small young turtle to come outside, sir. So, as soon as the egg, that is within 4 hours after the egg has been laid by the turtle, it has to be collected and it has to be kept inside the hatchery, sir.
So, like, what is the difference between these two terms, turtle and tortoise?
Sir, turtle is a completely sea or marine creature, and there are also freshwater turtles which depend upon the water for most of its life. Tortoise is something which lives on the land, sir. Both belong to the reptile class only. And turtle is having a flat body, whereas tortoise will be having a round shaped body. If we compare the lifetime also, turtle is having somewhere around 60 to 70 years from the telemetry studies, sir, but tortoise lives for 300 plus years.
Okay. All right. So you also have a biotechnology background, right? So, like,
Yes.
can you tell us in general? We see that the life expectancy of women is more than that of men. So, what could be the reasons for that?
Um, Sir, firstly, going with the general trends, sir, the risk-taking capability and the outdoor work, the pressure of the work, these contribute to longevity of men being a little lesser than women. And sir, biotechnology basis, if I have to say, I cannot, with my limited knowledge, say because it is gendered, sir. Rather, there is an enzyme called telomerase, which is responsible for longevity of anyone. So if the telomerase enzyme is worked upon, we can increase the longevity, sir.
All right. So, like, firstly, I want to know ki whether like the work which women do, is it not stressful? And the second thing is like maybe is it linked with the X and Y chromosome? Are you aware of that?
Sir, from again, whatever I have read till now in biotechnology, it is not related with X and Y chromosomes, sir. But, sir, one more part reason is being menstruation in women also tends to reduce the rate of heart attacks, sir, the heart-related disease. But in men, that is not the case. So they are prone to heart-related problems. And yes, sir, I accept the fact that women do work. They do have stress also, but natural tendency of having tolerance, I think that may be one of the reasons, sir.
All right, all right. So my last question on this is that, like from biotechnology perspective, like in agriculture sector, we have seen a green revolution, right? A successful green revolution. So have you seen, or is there something like green revolution in forestry?
Sir, I'm not aware of this, sir. I have to read more on this, sir. I'm not aware.
So all right, like that is from my side for now. Kshitij sir, please take over.
Sure. Good evening, Priya.
Good evening, sir.
So you're from Coimbatore. Suppose, Priya, you are made the DFO of your district or division today. Tell me what are the three things that you will do. Think about it and think about the problem that you're trying to address and justify your action with a reasonable justification.
Um, Sir, firstly, I will try to protect the forest, sir, forest resources and going for conservation of the resources basically. Secondly, sir, if there is any man-animal conflict, I will try to increase lot of technological methods in order to trace the micro points or the hotspots where the interaction between animal and human takes place, and having some informants, creating a WhatsApp group or SMS, and I will try to increase the early warning systems, sir. Thirdly, if there is a forest fire, again I will try to have a very close connection with the tribal communities working there, sir. And I will try to increase the forest watchers and guards in critical areas where fire prone areas are there and create fire lines. As soon as any signal or any informant comes regarding that, immediately the task force or rapid action force can be placed in that area, sir.
Fine. Have you ever met any field working personnel of Forest Department?
I have met, sir.
Could you tell me a basic assessment of their working conditions? What do you feel their day-to-day problems are? And maybe as a DFO, what can you do to address them?
So can I take few seconds, sir?
Yeah, sure. Maybe you can also take into context that there have been some reports of forest field personnel getting attacked by, let's say, by encroachers or by uh, illicit tree fellers. Maybe you can think about that as well.
Yes, sir. Sir, I have come across certain newses. For example, the first one is that, sir, in Vellingiri Hills this year, when some youth went for trekking, it is a spiritual place also, sir. So there were also death because of going to that place. Like they were not able to climb the region, sir. So their DFO was responsible to frame the rules. Like they have to say what kind of um, a physically active person can be allowed inside. So that is one responsibility. Persons entering into the reserve forest or any hilly areas. Secondly, sir, the forest fire is one very important role where DFO has to play, sir. Because once it starts to take upon, after 24 hours, large swathes of forest will be in danger. So that is a very responsible duty a DFO has to look upon. And thirdly, as you had mentioned, sir, when any poacher or even if a wildlife is there, one of the very important aspect which the ground level staff is missing is they do not have any weapon or any frontline preventive measures. So that is one area where lot of care can be taken, sir.
You have raised a very interesting point that the field forest personnel do not have any weapons. Could you tell me a rationale as to why they do not have any weapons or fatal weapons, or let's say police personnel, they have guns, the field constable maybe, but the beat guard does not have in the forest department. What could be a reason?
Sir, I will kindly have to reframe this statement, sir. Instead of going for a lethal weapon, they should be given some very basic amenities which are necessary if they come in close encounter with the wild animal or any other person also inside the forest, like poachers, sir. So that is what I meant, sir.
Understandable. My question is that I want your opinion on why giving weapons in the hands of field forest staff could be counterproductive.
Sir, the first thing is because they must be basically trained in when to use a weapon, and it is not very good idea to be giving them a very heavy weapon or any of that kind, sir, because sometimes it might be used for a personal use also. It cannot be accountable. Since it is a forest, we cannot be sure about what happened on the ground. So it is not a good idea to give them a very big weapon as such, sir.
Fine, these are government servants you're talking about, but yes. Anyway, okay, Priya, have you heard about a disease called cancer forest disease?
Sir, Kaisnor forest disease, sir.
Yes, Kayasnor forest disease. Yes.
I have heard about it, sir.
What is it basically?
Sir, at present, I'm not able to recollect what kind of disease.
In general, what I mean, uh, it is basically a zoonotic disease.
Yes,
I
sir,
believe you
it is
must
a
be aware of it.
Yes, sir.
So, like COVID, it is also like assumed to be originated from forest areas. What do you feel could be a responsibility of a forest department to prevent such epidemics or pandemics in future, prevent or mitigate them? Uh, what do you think forest departments should do?
Sir, forest department has to take a very vigilant action in preventing the uh, cases wherein the wild animal and the human being comes in contact, sir. Let it be a tribal or any tourism person. Firstly, they cannot feed any animals, and if a tribal person working inside the forest is coming in contact with wild animal, from there the problem may start, sir. Sir, to address this, lots of CCTV can be installed in the places where the interaction can be possible, and awareness can be given to the tribal population inside, as well as tourists must be strictly abiding by the guidelines of the ecotourism policy which is followed in that national park or wildlife sanctuary, sir. And sir, above all, the One Health policy, which has to be strengthened, which is also recommended by WHO.
Fine. Are you aware of any such cases wherein such preventive measures are taken in India or let's say abroad, or any legal provisions which we can use?
Sir, we have solid waste management rules itself, sir. And in Nilagiri district, it is being very strictly followed from my observation, what I had seen, sir. The waste which is being produced by the corporation or the municipality, when it is thrown irresponsibly, the animal come to the city limits and they come in contact with the public, sir. So it has to be strictly seen for that also, sir.
Fine, fine, fine. Okay. So I see that you have education in the field of biotechnology, and what is your assessment? How we can use biotech to improve forests?
Sir, biotechnology is a very innovative tool in forest management, sir. We can assess the marker assisted technologies. We can go with the marker assisted technologies for knowing about certain traits of trees. For example, we can increase the lignin quality of any tree using biotechnology, especially the genes which are responsible for it. Secondly, it can help in cryopreservation of genes, and gene banks can be created for any very critically endangered animals. And sir, while talking about the wildlife management, it can also help in scat analysis of some carnivores like tigers, which helps in landscape studies, sir. And it is also very useful for tribal development, sir, access and benefit sharing according to Nagoya Protocol.
I'm sure you must be aware about GM crops.
Yes.
What are why can't there be GM trees, and why? What could be the reasons for? I mean, what could be some of the threats that they may pose to the ecosystem, and some benefits as to carbon sequestration and all?
Sir, India does have a GM crop, that is BT cotton, sir. And we are also going for trials in BT, the mustard, that is, sorry, the.
My question was regarding GM trees.
Yes, sir, yes.
Hmm.
Sir, GM trees can be there, sir. There can be technologies which can create, but the issue here is the ethical reasons, sir. If we introduce a GM tree in a wild variety, lot of studies has to be done how it is going to affect the wild variety of that particular species through pollination. If it is changing the virility of the wild variety, it can be a problem. So, sir, a lot of controlled trials has to be done, and then only it has to be introduced while we go for wild varieties, sir.
Could it be because that trees have a much longer life cycle than crops, and they may have a greater tendency to have these negative impacts?
Definitely, that is one of the points, sir.
Also, I believe regarding genetics, there is a very prestigious institute in your area. Are you aware?
Sir, it is tree breeding center, which
What
is
is the,
present in Coimbatore,
what is
sir.
the, what is the name of that institute?
IFGTB, sir.
Okay, okay. Yes, yes. And also, while seeing your diaph, I noticed that you haven't filled Tamil Nadu as your home card of preference. Why is
Yes.
that so?
Sir, I was interested to work in Karnataka because in southern zone it was having a lot of scope because of having a lot of forest area under it. And also one more reason is I like Western Ghats, sir. Since I have seen the Western Ghats from the sides of Kerala and Tamil Nadu, I felt I wanted to give another state. So I gave Karnataka.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Priya. That is all from my side.
Thank you, sir.
Good evening, Priya.
Good evening, sir.
So, while explaining the biodiversity hotspot, I guess you mentioned the word endemic species. Certain number of endemic species are essential for an area to be declared as a hotspot. So, what exactly this term means, endemic species?
Sir, a species which is endemic to a region is found only in that region and it cannot be seen anywhere else in the world, sir.
Okay. So, and you have interest in turtles and tortoise. So, can you name a few Indian endemic species of turtles and tortoise?
Sir, the Travancore cane turtle is famous, sir. It was recently found, and so in Assam, the river terrapins are very famous, sir. That is also endemic to India. Sir, as of now, I can only recollect these both
Okay,
related.
fair enough. Fair enough. You have participated in, conservation program of olive ridley turtles.
Yes, sir.
So, can you briefly tell what are the conservation issues of olive ridley turtle, and why all of a sudden this one particular species appears to be the most important when somebody talk about turtle conservation?
Sir, yes, sir. So, sir, the olive ridley turtle species, they are very important because they come to the eastern parts of the country, sir. They also come to some of the pockets in the western part of the country, and it is one of the species among 22 species identified under Integrated Wildlife Habitat Program. So, one more reason being it is coming under Schedule 1 and being a vulnerable category in IUCN. Since it is 98 percentage times olive ridley which lays the eggs, we are going for the conservation, sir. And the first question about what you asked, sir. Sir, there are many threats faced by these turtle eggs. Scavengers and the developmental biotic pressure in the beach region. So these are pushing the success rate to be very less for these turtles, sir. That is why we need some artificial hatchery in order to increase their population.
But do you think that artificial hatchery alone will, serve the purpose of the species conservation?
Sir, I do agree, sir. It can be the secondary uh, measure only, sir. Primary measure always best is being in its natural habitat and being protected in its natural habitat. For example, Aribada, there has to be a lot of monitoring if it is a very big mass nesting, sir, rather than carrying the eggs to a different place. But if it is in small pockets here and there, it is better to take it if there is a lot of developmental pressure there.
So, if the developmental pressure is the only threat to this species, or you feel there are certain other issues also?
There are other issues like climate change also, sir, which is affecting mass nesting and the small nesting, sir, because the temperature is deciding the sex ratio of the turtles.
And any idea about the scavenging by dogs, stray dogs, and other species?
Yes, sir. Sir, the dogs, jackals, and the crow, all the three are acting as a scavenging for the turtles, sir, and this is also very important reason why it has to be replaced.
But don't you think that the kind of the stray dog population increasing in India in leap and bounds, not only this one species but the other species are also getting affected, and one of the reason for the decline in the vulture population also considered as a stray dogs. So shifting eggs, or shifting the habitat, so to say, could not be the option. Any idea about how we can handle this stray dog problem in India?
Yes, sir. So the stray dog problem is a very big menace in many states, and sir, it can be first measure can be going for castration, sir, and second measure we can promote the indigenous breeds as such, sir, because in societies like Blue Cross, wherein they can take it when the puppies are littered, they can vaccinate it, give it as an advertisement. If there are brand ambassadors like anyone very familiar in the society taking a stray dog and giving a life for it, I think that is one more good measure, sir.
So, but don't you think if the solution is so simple, anybody else is not, why not, implementing this?
Sir, a lot of measures even from the public and government both together has to be done, sir. As of now, I'm not getting any other measure which has to be done.
No issues. So, one of the hobby you mentioned is paper mache, work. So, please tell something more about that. What exactly you do with your paper mache art craft?
Yes, sir. So it is a very ancient craft work which is still prevailing in the regions of Jammu and Kashmir. So it is basically making a paste out of the paper and turning it into a decorative piece of art or else a utility item, sir.
So what you are interested in, and how you get interested to a art form which is of Jammu Kashmir, far away from your place?
Yes, sir. Sir, I was interested in this art because of a program from the TV when I was in my 5th standard. But since then, I started to work on this art and I was able to find lot of interest in this. It mentally brought in lot of peace when doing this art, sir. And this is also practiced in some tribal regions of Orissa and even in Maharashtra, sir.
Okay, fine. You were also mentioning of the use of biotechnology in tiger estimation. So can you please tell how the tiger estimation is carried out in India?
So the tiger estimation is carried out using the tiger census, sir, wherein methods like direct counting and camera trapping, uh, line surveys are done, and also Stripes, which is an app which is very specific for tiger count. These are some things which are used inside, sir.
So this is something, Priya, very generic. Do you know the steps of the tiger estimation, methods?
Sir, I'm not aware of the steps, sir. I have to read more on that. Sorry, sir.
No issues. Also, you come from Coimbatore, and area around Coimbatore has lot of elephant presence, and
Yes, sir.
often they are into conflict with the local communities and the villages. You also mentioned some of the remedial measures which can be adopted to mitigate the conflict with elephant. But again, most of the measures which you mentioned are very generic, interacting with community, making them aware. So these two, I think, forest department must be doing right now. This is not something very out of the box. But because you belong to that area, can you think of something which you feel that nobody has ever thought of?
Yes, sir. Sir, the region of Coimbatore, especially there are 2 to 3 valleys which are present on the sites of joining with Ooty. They are in the horseshoe shape, that valley, sir. So the agricultural field and then the forest area is in very close vicinity, sir. So, sir, when an elephant is using a traditional pathway to pass from one place to the other, one habitat to the other, I think the best possible solution to prevent human wildlife encounter or conflict is to not encroach upon the corridors of those migratory corridors, sir. So that can be one very important reasons why the issue comes up. And secondly, sir, there can be uh, technology penetrations are inside. As I had mentioned about the technologies, sir, artificial intelligence which is already in place, which can help in identifying the behavior patterns, whether the elephant is going to charge upon or is it with the lot of other elephants together. And thirdly, sir, underpasses and overpasses as one of the measures can be implemented in order to prevent the collision between the human and the elephant, sir.
So, Priya, let me ask this more, in a straight and clear manner. Whatever measures you are mentioning, government is already trying to do most of them. But despite the fact so many measures being taken, problem is not reducing and it will not going to reduce because the kind of protection we are providing to the wild animal, their population is increasing and human population ever increasing, and our development needs again, take not only the corridor but a major chunk of their habitat also. So, do you think culling could be an option? Because right now we are not practicing culling, in our wildlife management policy, though the provision is there in the Wildlife Act. But what you see the future of this conflict can be made, culling could be one of the option, so that at least few of the animal can remain in peace. Few can be culled who are like excess in number.
Sir, I am not able to think of any other solutions as of now beyond this, sir. But culling cannot be a good option for going ahead, sir, because I think it is infringing upon the right of the animal also, and it is a endangered species also, sir. Sir, instead of going for culling, sir, it is just 2 to 3 seasons, especially where the intensity of attack is more during their migration, sir. So, lot of water holes and keeping the forest very healthy can be one another option which I can think about, sir.
Okay. So, Mayank, this much from my side. You can take over.
So yes, I think we've taken enough. I would like to ask some more question from geology, right? Since you have geology optional, like very simple questions, right? So you like Tamil Nadu, there is the merging of both the Eastern Ghats as well as the Western Ghat. So can you tell me what is the age of formation of Eastern Ghats and Western Ghat? And very simply, just tell me what is the difference in the origin, the process of origin.
Sir, the age of Western Ghats is comparatively lesser compared to the Eastern Ghats. And the origin of Western Ghats, it's a escarpment, sir. It was a landform which was cut away when the India, as it was passing from the Antarctic side into the collision of the Eurasian plates, sir. So Eastern Ghats was something which is already prevalent in Indian landmass, sir, in the Gondwana land itself, sir. Sir,
Thank you.
precisely, I'm not able to say about the age, so I'm not able to recollect it.
But like they might not have come up all along, right? There might be some process how those come up, the Eastern Ghats, even in Gondwana time. Like
Yes,
how
sir.
are fold mountains formed generally?
Sir, it is because of collision of two plates, fold mountains are formed,
So
sir.
so the Eastern Ghats were also formed that
Yes, sir.
way or some other way?
Sir, I'm not sure about the formation of Eastern Ghats, sir. Sorry, sir.
All right. So I'll tell you what, when they were formed, they were also fold mountains, right?
Thank you, sir.
So this is a fact. No, this is a fact. So now
Okay.
what I want to ask is that these Himalayas are forming, so we can see clearly see the boundary, the plate boundary, but there is no plate boundary near Eastern Ghats, right? So can you
Yes, sir.
think how they were formed?
Sir, since I had not read upon the facts, I kindly do not want to take a guess here, sir. I have to read a lot.
All right, all right. So I think that's it. Kshitij, you want to ask something else?
No, that is it from my side. Priya, is there anything that you want to ask the panelists? Priya?
Sir, no, sir. I want the remarks kindly, sir.